Now that the Arkham threat has been dealt with, it'll be up to the Bat family and the residents of Gotham to pick up the pieces. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Detective Comics number 1058, the grand finale of Shadows of the Bat, and find out together, shall we? And why, yes indeed, everyone, as we join the book, you did hear me correctly in that intro. This is the end of Shadows of the Bat. In fact, the bulk of it all kind of ended off panel as we once again jump around in time, as this story is known for doing. When we had last left off, Mayor Nakano's wife, Koyuki, had taken up the Medusa mask from Psycho Pirate and demanded that everyone stop, and I guess that worked, because as we join the book, we're actually following Deb Donovan as she does a big write-up on the Arkham Tower crisis. No, really, the big finale happened off-panel. Literally, I thought that I had skipped an issue before I started reading this one, but apparently I didn't. Before Deb can publish her big I Told You So article on everything that went wrong with Arkham Tower, she first needs to compare notes with the Bat family, including a newly returned Batman. Mainly because not everyone knows exactly what was going on the same way the reader did, how most of this was all the fault of Dr. Ware, a medical con man, who was looking to siphon public funds from the city and Mayor Nakano, but who ultimately ended up failing and getting himself killed by the inmates he was abusing. Ware had also been selling drugs out the back of the hospital to the party crashers and the Penguin, and we actually get to see the Bat family mop up the Penguin problem. We see Cobblepot actually dispatch his men to try and capture Psycho Pirate and his Medusa mask. I guess after finding out about it for the first time in the last issue, Penguin wanted that power for himself. The Bat family end up lying in wait and setting a pretty clever trap at a sleazy motel on the outskirts of Gotham to try and ensnare Penguin's gang. Naturally, Cobblepot himself wasn't present, which I guess means he's not going to jail, which is weird that this is all part of the final issue, considering Penguin and his gang had the least amount of actual hooks into what was going on at Arkham Tower. With Batman's return, the Bat family actually get upgraded to a brand new Bat Cave, which is built in the ruins of the old Gotham City that the party crashers were hiding out in. Kate Kane decides to attend the funeral of Dr. Ware once again in her Arkham Tower doctor guise to try and pump Dr. Meridian for any information about the fallout. This is weird because they imply that Dr. James Ware wasn't even the dude's name, just an assumed identity. Also, didn't he have a wife? Nakano is also at the funeral too. He made a bunch of bold declarations on television about what happened at Arkham Tower never happening again anywhere else in Gotham City, and that the wheels of justice are in motion and all the proper people will be punished, yada 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 politician doublespeak. Though in an unexpected twist, Nakano actually says that he plans to keep Arkham Tower open, that the mission statement sent out by Ware to try and build a better type of hospital that could help not only the criminally insane supervillains of Gotham, but regular people like his wife too, was a noble goal and shouldn't be shattered just because the guy running it was a sleazy con man. Nakano says he wants Dr. Meridian to run the tower however she sees fit, seeing as she was the only one who was actually willing to speak out against Dr. Ware. This is interesting considering that Meridian was running Arkham Asylum at the end of Fear State, and how she basically walked a whole way just to end up back exactly where she started. Okay, but the story wasn't really about her. What about Koyuki? How is she doing? Well, she's apparently getting the real therapy she needs and doing a lot better. They don't mention whether or not she still has the Medusa mask, and arguably she still could. She could have the power to make everyone forget that she even had it to begin with. Psycho Pirate's still running around too from his phantom enemies that are out to get him. And oh yeah, Huntress is here too, and I guess she's also doing fine, despite the fact that she probably had the most invested in any one of the Bat family in Arkham Tower and trying to fix her own mental state. Now, if this all feels like a massively anticlimactic non-ending to you, then don't worry, because we're going to try and distract you by getting you excited for the next story. The Riddler takes over the Gotham airwaves and poses the same riddle that he posed during the events of Long Halloween. When is a killer not a killer? And so that was Detective Comics issue number 1058 in the finale of Shadows of the Bat, and if you couldn't tell, I was quite disappointed with this finale, a shame too, as I had been championing this one for a while. Hell, for about 90% of the series, I thought this one would be an easy shoo-in for my best of the year list, but man, those last couple issues really took a major nosedive. I guess it's only fitting that Arkham Tower was continually compared to a house of cards during this storyline, because oh boy, when it fell down, it sure did all fall down, didn't it? This really is a baffling finale too. Basically, none of the storylines that they started got any actual conclusion. Characters just kind of say they're better now and move on. on. I really cannot shake the feeling that there was supposed to be another issue in this story that we just didn't get. The longer I think about where this series started and where it ultimately ended up going, I'm kind of at a loss for words, which I'm normally not as a critic. I can't remember the last time a story took me to such creative heights and then brought me down to such crushing lows in the span of just a few issues. I'm just left with so many questions. Is Huntress still suffering from her horrifying visions? Did Koyuki end up keeping the mask? Why wasn't Nakano's role as mayor impacted more by this 100th terrible choice he made? Did they end up taking Psycho Pirate to jail? Feels like he actually had quite a redemption arc by the time this was all said and done. Overall, I'd probably only be able to give this one a 5 out of 10, and that's mostly for the art. What a disappointing finale this ended up being. Hey there everyone, Cape Jewel again, and I want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. As always, if you liked what you see, be sure to like, subscribe, comment. It really helps drive engagement and helps me out too. Also, if you are a patron, which you can become for as little as $1 a month, you will get exclusive content that no one else can ever see, and you'll get to see the Comic Multiverse podcast before anyone else too. You can check out all this and more down in the description. And until next time everyone, this has been Cape Joel, and I'll see you all next time. Cheers.